Work in progress. It's like we told them, you're either developing good habits or bad habits. And we're still in that infant stage of developing our mentality and our football team. And I told them now football practice officially starts Thursday when we put the pads on. But, we have to get a lot better in a hurry. And it's our mental conditioning. It's being able to play through fatigue. It's being able to execute. We have very little in right now. I know they're trying. But we have to step it up a notch come Thursday. And obviously when the pads come on, the game becomes a lot different.
Have you watched them sort of hit that wall like today? Could you see it kind of coming?
Yeah, bits and pieces, especially with the wideouts. We ask them to run so much. But that's where your mental toughness is born, is pushing through. And, we have to learn to push past that point yet. And we haven't learned that. But you know what? It's practice too. And every day we just have to get a little better and a little better.
Butch, do you feel like guys maybe handled the tempo of practice a little better today? Did you get that sense at all?
Yeah, I do. And I think the more we continue to do it, obviously the more it becomes a habit. And it's a different way that we live, and you got to practice it every day. You got to live it every day. You got to stress it, and you have to have meticulous attention to details. And so it's going to come with time. But every day we step out here, the big thing with this football team is they have to understand every time we step on the football field, there has to be a great sense of urgency.
Educating the players on the former balls that wore their number and about the former balls that come to campus, obviously has a recruiting benefit, I imagine. We talked about the tradition, but how can it help for this team this year? The players are already here.
Well, I think it's a pride of who we are. I think it's a pride of what they're representing. And this is one of the most storied college football programs in the country, and our players have to take ownership. In every team, whether it's Team 117, Team 118 a year from now, we're here to protect our tradition and build upon that tradition. And there's a standard of excellence that comes when you come to the University of Tennessee. And I think it's those players understanding that. We talk about, the deeper our tradition, the deeper our standards, the tougher our pride, the deeper our pride is in everything that we do. And it's just a standard expectation in this football program, and we will not compromise.
Coach, do you think that tempo could take a hit on Thursday, being the first day in pads, and what are you anticipating seeing on Thursday?
Well, it may, because it becomes a lot different. Now you have to get up off of piles. Now you have to locate the signals. You have to get up. So everything is accelerated. But again, I'm looking forward to just the individuals who can retain the information that they had in practice 1 and practice 2, apply it to the field, and then also be able to take the knowledge that they learned that day with the install. But the big thing is we need to be a physical football team, and that's going to be born in practice.
Some of the freshman newcomers are a little bit lost out there. I saw Paul Harris at times, and it seems like he knew what he was doing. But is it tough for the guys that come in now instead of August because they don't have other freshmen around them to kind of be lost with them?
Well, I think it's challenging for a number of reasons. First of all, we have to keep in perspective that they should still be in high school. But I tell you what, come August, they will reap the benefits, they will reap the rewards of enrolling early. But right now, you do have to be patient a little bit because everything is accelerated. And football is just a small part of it. You look at, they're in a new setting, they have new friends, they're taking college classes, a college academic load. So there's so many things around them that's not just football, it's everything added up. And they're doing a great job.
How do you balance patience with those guys with that sense of urgency you just referenced?
Well, I think, it's being a great teacher, it's understanding what they're going through. It's being patient in terms of how you approach them, how you teach them. But also there has to be a sense of urgency that we don't have time to wait. The clock is ticking. We only get 15 opportunities. So every opportunity is golden. But they're doing a great job, and they're embracing everything. But again, you have to also rely on your older players. Your leadership, your older players have to show them the expectations and teach them as well.
Along the lines of that sense of urgency, what are you seeing out of your tight ends? Specifically, what do you like about Justin King that you want to move in there?
Well, I think Justin brings a level of athleticism to us. He can do a number of different things. He has a great skill set in terms of physicality, but also an athletic part as well. And, the good thing about the tight end is their skill sets complement each other. But again, that's a position that really has to have a great sense of urgency each and every day.
Did the defense win practice 1? Is that why they're wearing the orange?
You know what? We won't keep score until Thursday. It's really hard to gauge because when we go team, it's only 3 steps up front. But we will actually start keeping score come Thursday.
You don't see too much of specific individuals, but Brian Randolph is helpful in terms of health and in terms of just his work habits during the offseason and stuff like that.
Brian's done a great job, and he's back practicing, and I think we have to pick our spots, and we can't just throw him in there on every single rep. But, he's every bit as what we thought he'd be. He's bringing great leadership. He's doing a great job. We have a number of players that are doing that. I'm going home last night. We have a number of players in the indoor working on their fundamentals by themselves, and that shows me that they're hungry and they're eager. But we have to have more guys coming to practice with a more sense of urgency. And what happens is as practice comes and you ask about endurance, is you become in survival mode. And that's where your leadership is born, and through your times that you're fighting through things. And as much as anything, I'm trying to evaluate who our leadership is as well.
But you talked about some of those newcomers. What about Leon Jones, the JUCO guys? Is he starting to get comfortable out here, or is he still kind of lost like this?
He's still going through his growing pains, but you can see the corner skill set that he has. He has corner skills, and we fully anticipate him helping us this year.
Butch, when you recruited him, or when you were in Cincinnati, how much did you go into junior college guys? What was your experience with them in terms of how they transitioned from
Well, again, every individual is different. Each individual develops differently, kind of on their own time frame a little bit. Obviously, we try to expedite the process, but that's what you try to really dig into, with the junior college players, because when you bring a junior college player in, you're bringing them in for immediate help. And we did our due diligence, and he's done a great job. And again, we're throwing so much at him. He's digesting everything from football to academics as well.
Coach, you talked about the former players and family being around the program the other day on Saturday. Just in the 3 days since, what kind of feedback have you gotten? It seems like, just listening to the people that were here, it was a positive experience for everybody around.
Well, it has been positive, but not just in the 3 days. It's since we came here in December, into January and February, now into March. And everyone's been receptive. Our former players, I said, have been tremendous. They've shown up. They've done everything that we've asked of them, and we have to do a good job of giving back to them as well. And I'm very proud of them. They've done a great job. I speak to a number of them each and every day, and we're going to have a lot back on Saturday as well. And I'm just, I'm proud to be the caretaker. And, I said it, they built this football program. This is their program. And the other thing that I think that great programs have is our current players are starting to develop relationships with our former players. And I think that's big. And our football program right now has a lot of momentum in all aspects. I think people around the country understand what we have here at the University of Tennessee, and they're waiting for Tennessee to wake up. And we're waking up. And I think you see that in all aspects by the way we practice, the effort that our players are giving, the effort of our former players, and also in the recruiting process as well.
Which one do you think you've been able to manifest that momentum?
Well, I think, there's a lot of energy. I think this is a very prideful program. And so I think, obviously the energy level of our coaching staff, our coaches have done a great job. Our administration's done a great job. I think it's a whole, it's a whole effort on everyone. Our fan base has been tremendous, our former players. So when we talk about the Tennessee football family, that encompasses a lot of things.
When you were hired, how quickly did you figure out that you needed to reach out to?
Day one, that's part of being a head football coach, is you get to paint the vision for everything. The way your players perform on the field, off the field, the type of student athletes you recruit, the type of environment that you foster on and off the field, and that's why I enjoy being a head football coach. But we have a long ways to go. I'm just telling you. And I'm very impatient, but with this football team, we're learning. But we have to come Thursday with a great sense of urgency. We have to come tomorrow in our lifting sessions, in our meeting, also with a great sense of urgency. And that's a process that these players go through. They have to understand the magnitude and importance of spring football each and every day.
Did you started calling former letter winners the day you were hired?
Day one, yes.
But some of those offensive linemen, it looks like they've dropped maybe 10 pounds or so. Is that more for kind of the pace in between plays, or a little bit more of what you want them to do within the scheme during plays, or maybe both?
Well, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and I think, we can't get alarmed all of a sudden they're losing all this weight, because here's what they've done. They've lost body fat and they've gained muscle. And so actually our players are bigger and stronger up front, but they've lost weight. And that's what we have is, I firmly believe that Dave Lawson is one of the best strength coaches in the country. and he does a great job, and we do before and after pictures. And we have to get bigger as a football team, especially in the traps, in the neck area, and in the legs area, that we have to get bigger. That's where your explosive movements are come. And to be a physical football team, you have to be a strong football team. And our players have really embraced it, and they've done a great job to date.